Hello and a very good morning. Today we're doing the second part of my explore of the Lancashire, Derbyshire and East Coast Railway. So I'm just by the site of the former Upperthorpe and Killamarsh station, and this is where we left you on part one. So just a reminder of what we found in that part one. Here's a really quick catch up of some of the things that we found. So there's the old signal box housing, just by the station. Yeah. So in part one we looked at the line. This is the Beighton branch of the Lancashire, Derbyshire and East Coast Railway. I'm just going to call it LD&ECR from now on. It's too much of a mouthful to say the full title. Yeah. So last time we looked at the part from Beighton Junction past Rother Valley Country Park and finished at the old Killamarsh station, where we've just started. So that's one of two stations on the line. The second one that we're going to be walking up to is Spinkhill. Here's a view of the rail map online website. So I've marked where we're starting our explore in the town of Killamarsh, and you can see there as well I've labelled the tunnel that we're heading towards. So Beighton Junction's just out of shot to the north. The other blue line that you can see going from north to south, that's the Great Central Line, and the yellow line also going north to south is the existing Midland Old Road. So straight after leaving Killamarsh, we find ourselves in a really big cutting. So we've gone from being on quite an imposing banking going over the town of Killamarsh to being in a really sort of steep cutting. So just a reminder, this line was built in the late 1890s, and the passenger services started in 1898. However, there's been no passenger services since the start of the Second World War in 1939. Now, this part of the branch, as far as Westthorpe Colliery at Spinkhill, was still used to access the Westthorpe Colliery railway sidings. So this part of the line was only pulled up in the 1980s. I think 1984 was when the Westthorpe Colliery closed. So just 100 metres in and we're already finding kind of some old posts from the railway. So I don't know if you can just see under there, if it's light enough. That's like one of the old posts from the signalling cables. It's really a nice cutting. So this is the footbridge that we've just walked under. It's quite overgrown down there. It's difficult to see where the path is. Yeah, same at that side. There's a tree blocking. See, I'm guessing this wasn't the original bridge, although it does look quite old. There are some evidence of that there was a more substantial bridge. So there's a view looking out over the Rother Valley. So we've got Eckington just there, halfway, and Mosborough just over the hill, and we've got Beighton just in the distance there. So right in front of us here would be the old Holbrook Colliery. So I'm finding more of these bricks, and we found some of these on part one, and I didn't know at the time, but I went home and looked up. They say Killamarsh on the brick, but the KBC actually stands for Killamarsh Brick Company, and the old brickworks was literally just by the station, so around about where the place that we found all the bricks. So the weather this week's been absolutely cracking. It's been getting into the 20s, and it just so happens that those 3 days that we had the good weather fell when I was on nights, and today's my first full day off, and I came out of the house this morning, it was 7 degrees, so that's quite a drop from yesterday. We've got the old track ducting and drainage there, just emerged. I mean, that could be all the way along the line. It's quite badly overgrown now. So that's the first place I've seen where it's been visible. So it's an old chimney. That'll make a good plant pot for somebody who's willing to carry it home. So this is the Boyley Lane bridge. Just a minor, I suppose you could call it a farm track now, that runs down from Killamarsh. And it's starting to get a bit boggy. As you can see, plenty of stuff's been thrown over the side of the bridge. So this is Boyley Lane we're on now. And we're just on top of the bridge that we've just walked over. I'm not sure if these railings here were to try and help with the fly tipping problem. So we're starting to enter now what would have been the old Westthorpe Colliery area. So just on our left hand side is now what's been repurposed into a series of kind of footpaths and cycle paths called Westthorpe Hills, that was a part of the old Westthorpe Colliery site. Yeah, certainly a lot more muddier now, but it's passable. So for much of the route so far, we've kind of been going in a southerly direction, and we've been keeping parallel with the Great Central lines and the Midland lines that are just over to our right. But we're now arcing down towards the southeast as we start sort of peeling off towards Spinkhill. So we've got some kind of old track or farm track or something crossing the line here, and I've just noticed some posts on the side of the line. The top of one of the posts looks like there's part of a sign still attached to that post. You see a couple of letters, a H and an E, possibly there. So I'm not sure, would this have been a crossing or something with a sign on going over the railway? And all of a sudden we're now on an embankment again. So we've come out of the cutting and we're now walking along the top of an embankment. So I can just see the village of Spinkhill now, just coming in through the trees. So we're still on the top of quite a large embankment. Now we're around kind of the area now where we would be seeing the lines branch off into the colliery. Wow, could that be a brake block? I mean, I'm not a railway engineer, but is that? I'm not sure, maybe someone recognises what that is. It's quite heavy. So we've got some concrete, looks like some concrete foundations in the ground. Yeah. See just through the trees what looks like the remains of a signal gantry as well, laying on the floor. Something else that's interesting, looks really old, not sure what that could be. Yeah, plenty of things. I bet that undergrowth is absolutely full of things. Yeah, there's so much down here. I'm only scratching the surface really. But if you've got a few hours to have a look around. Certainly a lot more buried down here than I thought there would be. Anything else? Could they be from to do with a set of points perhaps? Does anybody know? Ah, looks like the remains of an old telegraph pole. So we are now coming up to the site of the old Spinkhill station, which, like the one at Killamarsh, has been disused since 1939. However, the station buildings at Spinkhill are now a private residence, so it's good to see that they're still there and they're still in use and still well kept. So there's the old station buildings, you can see through the trees. I'm not going to go poking the camera in, that's a private residence. But we're just coming up to the station road bridge. Now, I'm not sure what the access is past here. Yeah, I absolutely love that last bit. I could spend hours just wandering around in the undergrowth looking for things like that. It's really interesting to find things. So here's a close-up of Spinkhill. So you can see there the sidings that we've just walked through before we got to the station. A couple of old photos now. So you can see the tunnel there, just the other side of the road bridge. We've got some wagons here from the Westthorpe Colliery. So it was a siding right up to the buffer stops under the road bridge. So we're just underneath the bridge, and as you can see, we've just got a lot of the same things that we've just been looking at, and that's looking back down the path from where we've just walked. So I do understand that this is private land, and you can see that there's been attempts made to stop. I don't know if it's to stop people. It's probably more to stop sort of vehicles. So I'm venturing down. So I've scrambled onto the banking. You can see. Well, I can see. I don't know if it's coming across on the camera. I can see the tunnel, Spinkhill Tunnel, coming into view now. There's a telegraph pole. Now you can see that they've. In fact, I've been seeing this quite a bit down the line. It looks like the trees have been deliberately felled just to try and prevent people getting down here. I should have filmed myself just trying to negotiate them trees. That wasn't graceful at all. So we can still see remnants of the railway there. Concrete ducting and brackets and things. So they've made a real good job at trying to block this off now. Just squeezed through. So we've got this central drainage duct. You can see that. I presume that goes all the way through the tunnel. Yeah, more trees to negotiate. So you can see how boggy this is, and I believe it's the same inside the tunnel as well. An obstacle course. Some really eerie noises coming from in there. Sounds like banging. Wow. I'm not carrying any lighting equipment, and the GoPro's not great at filming in the dark. I can see light though at the other end from the other portal, reflecting off the walls. There is a curve in the tunnel. There must be a foot or more water though there. It's really eerie. It sounds like there's footsteps coming through the tunnel. Yeah, I think you're going to need wellies. Good pair of wellies to get any further than this. So it was never my intention to go into the tunnel. This was just going to mark the end of my walk, really. Fantastic structure. I mean, it really would be really interesting to go inside, but I don't have the equipment for that. There are other videos on YouTube, and I will put a link to Pat Dickinson. Check out his channel. He's done an explore of the full length of the tunnel. So I'm going to head back home now. That's the end of the explore for this. So as always, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoy. I really enjoyed doing these explore videos down old railways and such. So it's great to see so many people watching and interacting with me. So again, don't hesitate to leave me a comment or go and have a look at my Facebook page, facebook.com/wobbly.runner. And take care, and we'll see you again soon on another video.